Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Week 3 edition of the 615 Prep Scoreboard. Chris Brooks alongside Scott Burton. Pardon the little bit of sweat that's on my head. It's a little bit of a scramble this morning to get things up and running, but here we are. Week 3 almost completely in the books, but there is another game to go today to finish up. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Scott, good morning.
Morning, Chris. How are you?
We're good. We're rolling. First and foremost, we're rolling. So
I was going to say, I can see you, you can see me. So
hey,
at least we know
that's
that.
a win. That's a win in our books, considering the way the last couple of weeks have gone.
I tell you what, nothing went this plan this week, did it?
It did not. Mother Nature wielded a stern hand again, as she tends to do once every season at least. And a lot of games were affected Friday night with delays and even one cancellation that we'll unfortunately have to discuss in a bit. Some games got pushed to a conclusion on Saturday. And then, like I said, there's one today that'll finish up, and we'll get to that in just a bit. Let's go ahead and go over some scores, shall we?
Sure.
Let's start on Thursday night. Cane Ridge, a 35-7 winner over McGavick. The Ravens now in 3-0, and they'll get to host Father Ryan this week in a non-region contest for the end. We'll go full with the scores here. On to the next one. Macon County 21, DeKalb County 13. Got some highlights for this one that we want to show you here in just a second. I was out there on Thursday night, and this was a rough and tumble region game. It's been close for the last 3 or 4 years. That the Tigers from Macon County just found a way to win. And if I could ever get these clips up, we'll show them here in just a second.
Yeah, that was a tough game. I think you were on the Macon County side of things, but that was as close as we thought it was going to be. That game was game was definitely a rivalry. It's kind of an early almost playoff game, because it's going to determine seeding.
It really was, because those two teams the winner of that game for the last several years had a home playoff game in the first round.
Has that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that used to go flip-flop. If you won the regular season, you ended up getting on the wrong side of things in the playoffs. Is that still holding true, or did that last year change?
With Opperman being added to the region last season, or a couple of seasons ago, that changed things, because that number 2 team now has a decent route. So, this game is critical for possibly getting that number 2 seed. I think we've got some video open. Here we go. Yeah. Love the interest of DeKalb County. They come out of the Tiger Cage, got the pyrotechnics going here. Just a really fun atmosphere for this region game. Even got the fog machines going over in Smithville. Something they're very proud of, and it's a great entrance.
I love the cage.
Yeah, they pull that cage up right before kickoff, and it's always fun to see that one. Macon County's first drive, nearly 11 minutes. Kyle Shockley on a 1-yard touchdown run that they had to look at for a minute before they actually figured out that it was a touchdown. 7-0 Macon County. Briss Trapp to Malachi Trapp here for a touchdown that tied things up at 7 in the second quarter. Briss Trapp unfortunately had to leave the game with a shoulder injury, and his status for going forward is questionable at best. Tough injury for him. He's a big part of that DeKalb County offense, but they'll miss him for at least a game or two. This touchdown actually put DeKalb County up 13-7, but they missed the extra point in the third quarter, and that kind of proved costly. Backup quarterback here for DeKalb County, Gabe Borders. here on the interception. Key play here, and a couple of plays later, Borders took a screen pass 55 yards to the house for what ended up being the final score of 21-13. And we had a couple more. Borders had 2 touchdowns, a 50-yard run, and then that 55-yard screen pass. Unfortunately, the video wasn't available in time for us to do that. But here's Gabe Borders.
Gabe Borders, 21-13 winners over DeKalb County. Talk to me about the last couple of weeks. You guys have been beaten, banged up, bruised, but you came through and got a big region win. How good does that feel for you guys?
It feels great. We've had a couple of big games for us. I mean, every week it's really hard. I mean, we practice. We go in the mornings. We go in the afternoons. We practice. We do film in the morning. We work out during school, and then we go 3 hours after practice. There's no doubt we work harder than anybody on the field.
You were able to get outside a couple of times with your speed and try to beat him to the edge. How big was that to see that on film and know that's what you were able to do?
It's huge. Make plays when I can.
This team's in a groove right now, 3-0. You've played very good defensive football. How good has this start been for you guys, in your words?
It's been awesome. I mean, I can't say it's just great, but I mean, it is great, but we got more games to come, so.
You know, that interception and then the screen pass or the touchdown, they kind of put it away. Walk me through the screen pass and what you saw, if you would.
Well, I knew he was a backup quarterback. I didn't know how he was. We ain't seen him on film, and I just saw him throw it, and I went up and made the play.
And then the screen pass right after that, when you scored.
It was huge.
Yeah, walk me through that play too, if you would.
I went to it was meant for the right, and then I saw everybody. I didn't have nobody, so I looked to the left, and I tried to get as much as I could, and I saw.
What do you want folks to know about this team right now, given the way y'all have started?
We're a good team. A lot of people think we're small and unexperienced, but we're a really good team. We fight hard, and we want people to know we're good.
Congratulations, man. Appreciate it.
A lot of poise from a sophomore. I mean, he's making some big-time plays that a lot of seniors make. And for Macon County, it's huge right now.
Yeah, my understanding, Chris, Zach Borders, his brother was unavailable.
Yeah, his twin brother, actually. Zach was unavailable with a shoulder injury. He's made a lot of big plays in the first couple of weeks for them as well. So, yeah, those two are going to be key for them going forward. If Zach can get back and help them out, that'll be a huge help for the Tigers. But they'll go to Charleston County this week. Let's hear from head coach Kyle Shoulders about the game on Thursday as well.
County head coach Kyle Shoulders, 21-13 winners at DeKalb County. You guys were beaten and bruised coming into this game, but the kids really just stood up and wasn't going to take anything from DeKalb County. Talk to me about this win tonight, what it meant for you.
Yeah, we called on a lot of guys that probably hadn't had a handful of plays under the lights on a Friday night tonight. And I'm extremely proud of how we prepared them throughout the preseason, how they stayed locked in the last couple of weeks, and then how they answered the call tonight. We're not the biggest. We're not the fastest. We got a bunch of guys that love football, and they play for one another, and that's a enjoyment to coach.
I go back to that first drive, 10 minutes and 46 seconds, 19 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown to cap it off, and you guys went for it on 4th down 3 times. How big was that drive to set the tone for tonight?
That was huge. We know that everybody's going to key on 7, so if you'll look back some of those 4th downs, we were able to go to some other guys, and it's because we have just as much confidence in our other skill guys as 7. 7's a phenomenal player for us, for sure. But tonight was really a team effort. Yeah. And that first drive really set the tone, I felt like. It was important for us to stay in possession of the football. To be able to eat up the majority of that first quarter is obviously important to us. We got a lot of guys playing both sides. So to be able to slow the pace of the game is important.
Yeah, you mentioned Gabe Borders as a sophomore making the plays that he is. How big has his addition been to this offense? And the defense too, really.
Yeah, and I like to say there's the 2 greatest things about Gabe Borders. One, he's got a twin brother that's just like him. And 2, they're both sophomores, and they're still young, they're still finding their way. But an exceptional performance for sure out of him tonight. And he's played well the last 2 games leading into night too.
This game has been such a key game for y'all the last few years in the region, and it sets you up for some good things down the line. how important was it this early in the season to get off to a good foot in region play?
It is very important. We know the importance of this game, as you mentioned. Being able to play DeKalb early was kind of tough, especially when it came, because DeKalb does so many things, and you got to prepare for that. And then you've got them on a short week, right after a brutal rival game with Westmoreland where we beat each other up, high emotions, winning that game the way we did. I think it speaks volumes for my guys, how they refocused, lined their thoughts, and came out tonight and executed.
Coach, congratulations on a big win. 3-0 is a good start for y'all.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
All right.
Macon County's been in fairly close games all 3 weeks so far, and it's big for them moving forward that they've gotten in those tight games, considering what they're going to have to see later in the season when they play teams like Upperman and Smith County on their schedule. Just seeing how that team has been able to get through, even though a lot of us may have picked them third in the region, it's big for them because now they've got the inside track to that home playoff game that we were talking about a little while ago.
Yeah, huge win for Macon County, and a huge loss for DeKalb, losing Briz Trapp, because like you said, that it's he's kind of the heart of that team at quarterback. Not to take anything away from Macon County and what they accomplished, but that's definitely a blow to DeKalb County.
Yep. DeKalb County will host Watertown next week. It's their first loss of the season, obviously. Macon County at Charleston County, off to a 3-0 start so far for those Tigers, and a big win for Macon County going forward. Other Thursday scores for you. In East Nashville, 54-14 winners over Stratford. The Eagles have been rolling so far this season. They're 3-0, and they get Hillsborough at home next week. Stratford, a region loss in their 5-3A opener. They'll be at McGavock in week number 4. Gallatin kind of struggled a little bit with West Crete, 19-7 on Thursday night. The Green Wave do win the region opener, though, so that's the important thing. The Mayor's Cup is next week at Station Camp, and the West Creek Coyotes fall to 1-2, and they're traveling to Kenwood in week number 4. Smith County rolling over Maplewood 39-0. The Owls 2-1, bouncing back after that close loss to DeKalb County in week 2. No problems with the Panthers. The Owls now at Westmoreland next week, while Maplewood will have to try to regroup at Overton. Pearl Cone, no trouble in their region opener, 58-0 for their first win of the season after 2 tough losses for the Firebirds to open the season. It's all region games for them the rest of the way. So the Firebirds really can get some momentum going after losses to Cane Ridge and NBA in the first couple of weeks.
Well, if you're going to find a team to get well against, Pearl Cone ain't it.
Not right now. That is a motivated, angry bunch after those first 2 losses. Scott, this was your game from Thursday night. Westmoreland made a statement with a 20-0 win over Watertown. Tell me a little bit about what you saw there as I pull these highlights up for you.
I saw out of Westmoreland was an incredible defense. These guys fly to the ball. They hit hard. I mean, you go to a game and you almost need. I'm exaggerating a bit, but it's almost like you need earbuds. you need headsets, because that's how hard these guys hit. Yep. They shut down a Watertown offense that has been pretty prolific in the past, and the thing is, they're only going to get better offensively. They putting 20 on the board against a really tough Watertown defense speaks volumes to how this team is just going to grind you down and wear you out, but they have the ability to put points on the board.
All right. Good timing as we got those highlights up for you.
Yeah, here's a 1-yard run. This is forgive me, I've lost the names, but this is the 2-point conversion. No, that's the touchdown. That put them up 14-0 right there. This is a 2-point conversion. Right here, yeah. And that one was a big play, put them up 2 scores because Watertown wasn't getting anything going. And this was kind of the coup de grace. this sweep here that really put the game out of reach. I think 3:24 left in the third quarter, but Watertown wasn't getting anywhere. They had trouble moving the ball completely, and it was just a really dominating defensive performance from Westmoreland.
Yeah, the Eagles with the bounce back win after their loss to Macon County week 2. I believe it was Cameron Eden that you spoke to after the game, correct?
That's correct.
Well, let's hear from him.
Westmoreland Eagles win 20-0 over region foe Watertown. We're here with Cameron Eden, quarterback, safety, and kind of do-it-all guy. Cameron, first, let's talk about the week leading up to this game. What it was that you guys focused on this week?
Well, we had a short week coming in, but the main thing is everybody on our team believed we could win this game, and that showed tonight. But leading up to this week, we put in our game plan. We kind of simplified our game plan from the last few weeks because it was a short week. So we simplified it a little bit, and guys came out and executed.
Now, they had a 9-game winning streak over Westmoreland. Was that something that was in you guys' heads this week?
No, sir, not at all. Like I said, we all expected to be. We knew we could win this game, and it's a game like you said, the 9-game winning streak. We've been waiting on it, and I think we put ourselves in a good position with the win.
Now let's talk about your defense because you guys, they are a very explosive running game. What did you guys see that you could do to stop that running game?
Well, like I said, we simplified it. The last 2 weeks we kind of been moving around, but we kind of just played our rules. We're a very physical football team, and our guys we're swarming to the football. Every play, 11 guys are on the football, and it's hard to run against a team like that.
Your defense, your reputation precedes you defensively. What is it that you guys do well?
I think we have a great defensive coordinator, great game plan every week, and it's just our guys. We love playing physical football, and that helps a lot on defensive end.
You go into the half, you're up 6-0. I mean, very easily could have turned around. What did Coach say to you at halftime that that you guys came out of the locker room and got a big stop and then marched it down the field?
Don't let up. Just the way we've been playing defense in the first half, we knew we couldn't let up because, like you said, they are a very explosive football team, and that's what we knew. We couldn't let up, and we came out, got the stop, and our offense stepped up big.
1-0 in the region. How big is this game for your program?
It's huge. We've been waiting on it, and we're ready for the postseason this year.
Well, Cameron, I appreciate your time. Enjoy the win. Good luck on the rest of the season.
And now let's hear from Westmoreland head coach Chad Perry as the Eagles improved to 2-1.
Very big win for your program. How important is this game coming out of this 1-0 in region play?
Well, it's huge important. A lot of year in, year out when we play Watertown in week 3, they've been the front runner in our region for quite some time. So we made no bones about it this week. We told our kids, hey, this is a region championship. In 2 weeks when we play another region game, it'll be a region championship for us. And, we want them to take that mentality out this year that every region game we play, we've got a chance to do something that hadn't been done here in a while, which is a region championship and try to gain a home field playoff advantage. But it's a long season. We got to take it game by game. We have a super tough non-region schedule. With Portland and Macon behind us, but now we've got Smith County and Salina still to go through with Trousdale in between. But I'm super proud of our kids.
Let's talk about your offensive line. A lot is said about your defense, and deservedly so. But in that second half, when you come out, you get the stop, and then you eat up a lot of clock and then get that second score.
Right. Well, that's how we're built to do it, and, that's how we practice. Some people call it 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but our goal is to move the chains and eat the clock up and, get it in the end zone. And a little bit in the past, we've struggled, to get it in the end zone once we got inside of 20, but I think we overcame that tonight. Those guys on the O-line are super unselfish. They've had a tremendous weight room year in the off season. They've gelled really together, and they've got a ton of pride in getting our offense down the field and get us in the end zone. They did a super job tonight.
You talk about pride. You have one player, your quarterback, Eden, and safety. I think he made just as many plays defensively, big plays tonight as he did. What's it like having a player like that can go both ways and play that well?
Well, Cameron is special for us. He's real mature. He's when we step out on the field, he's all about business, whether it be offense or defense. And he's unselfish. He's going to do his job, and he's a great leader for our program. If I had to pick a kid on our team for our younger kids to pattern them after, it would be Cameron Eden, because he does a tremendous job on both sides of the ball from a leadership, and he's just super kid.
You had a chance to score at the end of the half, and you had some clock issues. When you go in and you're only up one score when you could have been up two, what did you tell your kids?
Well, I told the kids that, look, we've kind of toyed around all the first half. We pride ourselves in playing physical football, and I could tell that I feel like we were gaining the edge in that category. So I know we had to come out and I think we did a tremendous job in our kicking game from last week to this week, because we won the field position game tonight and made them drive the field. And, we ended up with the ball in pretty good field position. So the second half was all about going out and getting the first stop, and then let's eat the clock up and get the thing in the end zone.
I was going to say that first punt was something else, because it really put Watertown on their heels.
Yeah, Peyton Dickens, he's our punter. He's actually been kicking off and punting for us since he's been a freshman. We did lose a punter last year in Troy Gass, who did a tremendous job, but Peyton's taking over those duties this year, and he's doing a good job for us.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Hey, Chris, just to note that it was Bryce Kidrow on the first run, Colton Sizemore on the second touchdown, and Eli Stafford with the 2-point conversion and that final run. But let me say one more thing about Eden. He hits just as hard offensively as he does defensively. He was putting hats on both sides of the ball. He's a gamer.
All right. Good stuff from Westmoreland. Eagles with a big win there. I think that was 9 in a row they had lost to Watertown. Am I correct on that?
That's correct.
Yeah. 9-game losing streak broken by the Eagles. They're now 2-1 as they host Smith County next week. Keeping on with the scores from now Friday, this was one of the games that was affected by weather. CPA 28-0 winners at BGA. This one only got a half in. They stopped at halftime due to lightning and did not restart, because it would have been such a late restart that it wasn't feasible to do it. So the Lions 28-0 winners at BGA. They will travel to MBA this coming Thursday, while BGA goes to Nashville Christian, seeking its first win of the season. Beach 35, Hendersonville 8. A lot of people asked why we didn't have this in our top 10 games. And to be quite honest, we've covered this game 3 times, and Hendersonville is reloading. And it's going to be a rough start for them. This game for Hendersonville really needed to be about a month later, just because of what they had to replace. And they're still trying to find guys to put in starting positions. And Beach dominated this game throughout, winning 35-8. So, people asking why wasn't there top 10 games? Well, let me tell you why.
It's definitely evident that they have some seasoning to do.
Exactly. I mean, that really says it. And Hendersonville's got a very difficult schedule. They're going to play teams like Ravenwood and Baylor in non-region play this year. They're still, I think, at least a third-place team in that region, but their game against Gallatin in 2 weeks is going to be very telling as to whether they're third or second even. But I want to just say this about Hendersonville, though. That's going to be a really good coaching job if they win 5 or 6 games, just because of the strength of their schedule. They do not shy away from teams in non-region play. But Beach, big winners there, 35-8, with wins over Henry County and Hendersonville. Now the Buccaneers are asserting themselves as a team that might just be willing to make a deep run in the postseason themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
White House 42-6 winners at Cheatham County. The Blue Devils now 2-1. Big rivalry game at Portland this coming week. Another one of those Sundry County rivalries that goes back a long way. And the Blue Devils improving to 2-1. Cheatham County 1-2. They'll travel to East Robertson next week. Middle Tennessee Christian, a 52-37 winner at Clarksville Academy. Battle of Cougars, the ones from Murfreesboro get it done. They're 2-1 as they'll get Mount Juliet Christian at home. Clarksville Academy will lick their wounds and get Republic at home in week number 4. FRA, a 35-7 winner at Davidson Academy, and that happened to be my game on Friday night, and I'll pull those highlights for you here in just a moment. But Scott, before we do that, let's talk about our sponsors from Fifth Gear Technology Concepts, if you would.
Oh, absolutely. In today's fast-paced environment, your organization needs a flexible, reliable phone system to communicate and collaborate. Fifth Gear Technology Concepts managed IT services in Nashville include a variety of voice over internet protocol or VoIP phone systems that deliver a variety of features: HD quality sound, audio conferencing, voice media, email, and much more, all to empower your workforce work smarter and more efficiently. It makes for easy conferencing and collaboration inside and outside your company. Voice and data services on one affordable monthly bill, smart forwarding for mobile and remote workers, integration with email, fax, and teleconference systems, intelligent call distribution for high-volume environments, and 24/7 system monitoring and remote management. To learn more, contact Fifth Gear Technology Concepts today at 615-606-3121. Fifth Gear Technology Concepts, responsive, reliable, friendly, and affordable. Call them today and make your business more effective.
All right. A big thanks to Fifth Gear Technology Concepts for sponsoring the Scoreboard show every week this season. Let's get those FRA Davidson Academy highlights loaded up and ready to go. Ty Clark, 2 big weeks to start the season. Didn't disappoint either on Friday night. This one from 15 yards. FRA leads 7-0. Davidson Academy does fight back early and tie things up on this touchdown pass that even things at 7 in the second quarter. But it was the Ty Clark show on Friday, even though Logan Kennard had one for 4 yards out here to put FRA up 13-7. Clark's second TD of the night. This one from 10 yards out. 21-7 FRA with about 3:26 left in the first half. On to the second half, and Clark Langley with this interception of the end zone snuffed out an FRA scoring chance. But again, Ty Clark, this one 24 yards out, and that's put FRA up 28-7 in the third. He added a 74-yarder that unfortunately we're not going to see on video because yours truly didn't capture it. Final score 35-7 in favor of FRA, and I managed to speak with a couple of key guys from FRA, including Ty Clark and Joe Crocker. Ty Clark and Joe Crocker with me after the 35-7 win at Davidson Academy. Guys, you're off to a 3-0 start. What's been the biggest secret to these first 3 weeks for y'all?
I mean, I think Joe brought it up earlier, man. Just the atmosphere in total has changed. With new coaches, everybody come in, everybody seems to be bought in. Everybody wants to win. Not saying we didn't want to last year, but it just feels like you can tell that the presence is there. So the work ethic, everything's been there since the summer. We've all been there. We want to win.
It's a belief. The whole team.
Joe, certainly along the offensive line, having Coach Geis there to give his expertise. What's that been like for you personally?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, it's tough. I mean, he's tough on me, and him and Coach Hanson, they expect a lot out of me as a person, as a leader, and as a player. I mean, it's helped me a lot with technique, and I mean, Coach Geis will come over, and me and Luke, our other tackle, we're gonna work with him, and I mean, we get that small group coaching, and it helps a lot for tags or whatever. And I think it's really paying off to have someone that's gone to the highest level that can help mentor me as the person and as a player as well.
Ty, the way things have gone for you these first 3 weeks, I mean, you've had big numbers every week. What's been the biggest secret for you so far?
These people right here, these big guys right here, man. Without them, I mean, I can't go nowhere. They open up the holes for me. Shoot, you open up the hole for me, I'll do the rest for you. But without them up front, I can't go anywhere. So shout out to them, man.
I mean, it's such a promising start for you guys. I mean, a lot of people might not have picked y'all to finish very high in the region, but the way y'all have played so far, it seems like the sky's the limit for you, right?
100%. They're going to find out.
That's what we want,
All right,
we want people to underestimate us. We come in.
For sure.
We come in and give it to them.
We don't need the favorite mindset. Hey, we know what we got. That's all that matters. I mean, in any football, as long as you have that belief in your own locker room, none of the outside stuff matters. Our school probably might not have even expected it outside of our team, but we knew that the work that we put in this summer was going to pay off. And I mean, each week we're just going to keep building on that, and it's a whole new week next week. This is a great win. We got a whole new team next week. So.
All right, guys, congratulations on the win.
Sir,
we'll keep more success going forward for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
One thing about FRA, just seeing that team kind of rally around each other on Friday, the culture change is very evident with Justin Geisinger in his first year over there. Really seems like those players are buying in, and they're off to a fantastic start. They're 3-0 for the first time since 2015. And I spoke with Justin Geisinger about that start, about Friday's win, and kind of what has led them to this point.
FRA off to a 3-0 start. Big win at Davidson Academy. Justin Geisinger with me, Coach. Congratulations on the start. A couple things stood out to me tonight. Obviously, Ty Clark with a special start to the season, but the defensive effort tonight. How big was that effort against this Davidson Academy team?
Oh, fantastic. And I think our defensive effort, for the start of the season, we're just 3 games in, but, Coach Sanders does a phenomenal job. We're fortunate to have him as a defensive coordinator. Really prepares those guys well. We knew Davidson Academy, Coach Quinn's a guy that's notorious for showing multiple formations and different looks and doing some things. And, for the most part, we were lined up to it right all night. We played hard. We got some disruptive guys that get in the backfield and make some things happen, and that helps. But, hats off. Our defense has just kind of stood on their head all season so far. And, offensively, Ty's a special kid. He's not just a special football player. I think I pride myself in the type of young man he is. He is about as well-rounded young man as you'll meet. So that's what we're about at FRA. That's pretty special.
That offensive line obviously taken after your coaching. The kind of effort that they've provided so far this season, opening as many holes as they have for him. How big has that been to get off the 3-0 start?
Yeah, very proud of the group. We have some veteran guys in there, obviously Joe Crocker, and I'm proud of him and how he's stepped up. He's come a long way in just a year. Obviously a big, long, athletic body, but we knew he had a lot of potential in the tank, and he's starting to come out a little bit. You're starting to see that. He's starting to grow confident. Luke Masterson on the other side is a raw, big body tackle for us that we knew had a lot of upside. And then we got our workhorses in the middle. We're undersized, some inside, but you got Bo Kugler, Bradley Schmoke, Graham Pave, a senior, who's come back. We weren't even sure if he was going to play this year, and now he's playing really good football guard for us. So all those guys, and then a couple our F backs, we call them. Obviously Bobby Council playing both ways in the ball, and Ben Bradshaw, 2 workhorses for us, doing really good things. But it's a team effort. Logan Kennard getting his first starts this year, really managed the offense really well, done some good things. And then our receiving core, Boyd Brown with a big catch down the sideline tonight, and starting to show flashes of what we can do as an offense. And we still have a lot to clean up.
Right.
Lot to clean up.
Well, it's still a great start for you guys, obviously. Yeah. Congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a really good start for FRA, and they're going to get some challenges in the next few weeks. They've got Lipscomb Academy in a couple of weeks, and then CPA about a month down the line. So we'll see where this FRA team stacks up in that region once they play those 2 teams. And they're going to play both of them on the road, and that's kind of important to note as well, because both of those teams are going to be who FRA needs to beat if they're going to be looking up in this 2022 season. All right. Continuing with some more scores from Friday, Overton 35-0 winners at Dickson County. The Bobcats are 2-1 and unbeaten in region play. They'll get Maplewood at home next week. Dickson County falls to 0-3. They're going to try to get win number 1 next week on the road at Clarksville. Ezel Harding, first win back since joining the 11-man ranks again, 27-0 over Republic. Congratulations to the Eagles on that win. They're now 1-2 as they'll have Chattanooga Prep at home next week. Republic at Clarksville Academy in week number 4. Probably one of the games of the night, Pope Prep Father Ryan of the Bishop's Cup, the most points ever scored in this rivalry series. 49-35 Pope Prep over Father Ryan. Knights are now 3-0 as they traveled to Independence for a Thursday night tilt this week. Father Ryan now 1-2, and it doesn't get any easier for them as they're going to be at Cane Ridge on Friday. We'll get to Scott. This was your final game on Friday evening, or almost Saturday morning, really, as far as the weather was concerned. Friendship Christian 43-8 winners over DCA, and the Commanders really kind of set a message to the rest of Division II Class Single A that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this season. Talk more about the Commanders' start so far and what you saw out of them Friday.
Oh, this is a team that believes. They've got a lot of senior upper leadership that has stepped forward. It's really a well-rounded team. They've taken pride in their defense, very much so. This team is loaded. They have good players on both sides of the ball, and Tyson Walcott behind quarterback Garrett Weekly, Brock Montgomery at the wide receiver. They got a good offensive line. They really took it to DCA this week. DCA, a team that is really rebuilding, a lot of sophomores and freshmen that that aren't quite where they need to be yet. Coach Wade always talks about having 3 seasons within a season, and he's just coming out of season 1. This is week 3. He thinks that by week 8, 9 that they'll be much better. But the thing is, so will Friendship Christian. They are just flying around the ball defensively.
All right, let's pull some of this video up from Friday night.
Things didn't get off to a good start for Friendship. The ball was this is a safety. Now they get back on the board with Garrett Weekly with this 6-yard run to put them up for good. They go off to a 7-0 lead here. And DCA returns a favor. This punt or deep snap goes out of the end zone, and it's a 9-2 lead for Friendship Christian as they get the safety. Yep, and here's Tyson Walcott, 55 yards on this camper. Almost gets caught by Ashton Jones there, but makes it in the end zone. It's 16-2, Friendship Christian, and they just piled on. You got Walcott again. Here he goes for 35 yards with a big cutback and run, and it's 22. They missed the extra point. It's 22-2 at this point. Now the rain started to come down. Here comes Walcott on his third run from short range, and this is 29-2, and that's when they stopped the game for Lightning. When they came back, DCA moved the ball. Here's Braden Descharme on the 24-yard field goal. That's 20. He has another one, but here's Garrett Weekly going 80 yards. So with this touchdown, it goes to 34-8. Friendship Christian, and they are just running away with it. You can see that they get to that second level, and here's the last touchdown. Again, Garrett Weekly had 120 yards on the night. Here he is scoring from 5 yards out, and that makes for the final 43-8 tally.
The impressive win for Friendship Christian over DCA. Get a couple of player interviews here. Starting first off with Tyson Wilcox.
Tyson, what was it offensively you guys felt like you could run on this team?
We have a great O-line, great quarterback. Receivers make plays when they need to.
Yeah, when you got that first run, you had that cutback. I mean, did you see that hole open up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All I can say about that is great ball carrier vision.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it.
Yeah, you struck 55 yards, and then you had another long one. At that, you would have had another one got called back. So your offensive line was, like I said, dominated. It seemed. Was that a focus of the team after last year and how you guys played against them?
Yes, sir. Last year, our line wasn't physical. We knew what we were doing. Things went wrong. We weren't physical enough. So this year, we decided to change things up a little bit. Everybody got a little bit closer. Everybody just kind of bonded together. We grew that relationship where we're all for one and one for all. And at that point, the team's all in.
And now you play corner on the defense or linebacker?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. I saw you out on the edge making plays. I wasn't exactly sure where you were because you were kind of all over the place.
Yes, sir.
You guys did a good job of shutting down Ashton Jones and getting after the quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Was there anything special that you guys put into this week, or?
No, not really. We ran what we were comfortable with. Left it all up to the O-line.
Outstanding. Well, I know it's late. I'm going to let you get on with your night. I appreciate it. It's just about morning.
Yes, sir.
But I do appreciate your time. Good luck with the rest of the season.
Should we run a contest for the best video bomb during an interview this year? I kind of like the one there at the end.
Why not? But DCA Coach Paul Wade of DCA said in the past that Friendship Christians had to load the box and leave their corners out on the edge. This year, he says they don't have to. He said they are that good. He gave praise to the defensive coordinator and to the head coach, John McNeil over there, about having his guys ready. This is a team that they've been waiting for, and these kids are playing mature. As Tyson Walcott said, they're growing together. This team is primed for a long run, y'all.
All right. Let's hear from Brock Montgomery too on the
coming into this week. You had a rough game last year against them. Was there revenge on your mind?
Yes, sir. You know there was revenge on my mind. They whooped us last year. We came in. We were ready to play them.
He's gonna go. And usually, what did you guys work on defensively to shut down their run game?
Well, we had to load the box. We trusted our DBs, defensive backs, and we made plays. What do I gotta say?
Now, you get the 2 interceptions tonight. Usually we see you more on the offensive side of the ball, but 2 big interceptions tonight to stop drives. Were they? How was it just reads or,
Just making plays on the reads. I saw the comeback come. I was just biting on it.
And this is a team that runs it, likes to run the ball well. You said that you guys got to you focus on loading the box. When you guys started to you had that safety there at the beginning, kind of looked like remnants of last year.
Yes, sir.
But you guys stepped up.
Yes, sir.
What did Coach tell you guys after that happened?
He was like, man, we still got to play physical. We got to go out there and do our job. It's strictly business. Now we're looking on 24 hours to celebrate, and then we go on to grace.
Outstanding. Well, Brock, I know it's late. Enjoy the night. I appreciate you, and I think great game. And I said, best of luck on the rest of the season.
Yeah. Sorry about the rambling question there. It was tired for everybody at that point.
Yeah, I think what time did you say that game ended? About maybe
it was probably about 11:45, 11:50. I think it was close to midnight before I left. I was only sad that I couldn't get John McNeil. Evidently he left out pretty early and I couldn't track him down.
That's all right.
But it would have been nice to hear from him and his take. But I knew that Brock he had a visit the next day that he was getting ready to go to. So I knew that he was trying to get out of there.
Yeah, that's one thing about these late delayed games when these prospects have visits the next day, and that's really messing up travel, especially if you have to hop onto the airplane somewhere. It can be a brutal few hours for you. But most of them were able to get it done from what I've heard. So it worked out for a lot of people.
He had 2 huge interceptions. Both of them could have gone for touchdowns. One of them he got tackled, somewhere around the 6. The other one was called. It wasn't called back, eliminated, but it was called back. He had made it in the end zone, but there was a block in the back. Yep. The kid is an absolute talent.
Well, Friendship Christian, as Brock said, it's got Grace Christian next week. That's going to be a big one between 2 unbeaten teams. DCA falls to 1-2 with a loss. They're at home against White House Heritage next week, trying to get things going in the right direction for them. Back to some region scores. Greenbrier over Glencliff, 47-13. The Bobcats now 2-1 as they'll host Lawrence County next week. Glencliff will head for their open date with an 0-3 record. Green Hill 35, Wilson Central nothing. The Hawks now 2-1 as Wilson Central has fallen to 0-3. They're going to have to rebound, but Springfield comes calling next week for them. Green Hill will be at Columbia. Harpeth a 17-6 winner over Whites Creek. The Indians 3-0, and they'll get Sycamore at home next week, while Whites Creek will travel to Clarksville Northwest. Joe Burns 38, Red Bowling Springs 7. This one had some unfortunate circumstances at the end of it with some players getting ejected. But Joe Burns with a region win over the Bulldogs. They'll hit Houston County at home. Red Bowling Springs is scheduled to travel to Cosby, but that is in jeopardy because they had 11 players ejected, which would leave them with exactly 11 players for next week. So unless they appeal, that game against Cosby could be in jeopardy in week 4. Laverne 31, Antioch nothing. The Wolverines 1-2, getting their first win of the season. They get Smyrna at home in a region contest next week. Antioch falls to 0-3. Centennial will come calling for the Bears in week 4. Lipscomb Academy didn't get to the fourth quarter. This one was called after 3 with a 52-0 score. The Mustangs rolling again. They're now 3-0. They have a Saturday game this week against Calvert Hall out of Maryland. Good Pasture suffers its first loss of the season. They will travel east to CAK on Friday. Mount Juliet, big winners over Hunters Lane, 42-0. The Golden Bears now with their first win of the season after an open date last week. Hunters Lane suffers its first loss of 2022. Davidson Academy is their opponent on Friday. Oakland 65, Stewart's Creek 14. The Patriots, no trouble with the Redhawks in a region game. Oakland now 3-0 as they head for a showdown with Ravenwood on the road this coming Friday. It'll be our Spotlight Series game of the week as well. And it's a national broadcast, I believe, on Stadium, if I'm not mistaken. Also, local TV. It's a big game, and for all the right reasons. Oakland and Ravenwood will be a good one to check out if you're in the area. Stewart's Creek 0-3. They get Franklin at home next week in that particular contest. Port 42, Northwest 7. The Panthers now 2-1, and they'll get White House at home, as we mentioned earlier in the show. Northwest 1-2. They will have Whites Creek at home next week. Blackman in the backyard brawl, 34-27 winners over Riverdale, avenging a big loss from last season. The Blaze now 2-1. Summit will be their next opponent at home in the Inferno in week 4. Riverdale hits the road down 24 to Shelbyville for a non-region contest in week number 4. Rockvale 27-10 winners over Siegel. The Rockets 2-1 with a key region win that will help their playoff chances in 2022. The Stars suffer their first loss of the season and now have to travel to Lebanon in week number 4. Clarksville 35, Rossview 10. The Wildcats get their first win of the season. They get Dixon County at home next week. Rossview gets Northeast at home as the Hawks drop to 1-2. Springfield keeps rolling, 50-14 winners over Northeast. Devin Crenshaw with another big night for the Yellow Jackets. He's becoming one of those players that you have to mention in the Mr. Football running in Class 5A for Springfield. They're 3-0, and they travel to Wilson Central this coming Thursday, Northeast, on the road at Rossview in week 4. East Robertson 24, Trousdale County 6 in a key region game for the Indians. This was one of those games we talked about, Scott, for a bit this week because it was going to help shape this race, which is kind of one of the more fascinating ones around the area this year.
Yeah, it really has. This region is kind of turned on its head a little bit as the way it's been in the past with East Robertson and Westmoreland now, at the top of it, staring down battle against each other.
Trousdale County has not been 0-3 since 1956, if you can believe that stat.
I believe it. It's just, it's amazing to me that, it's been so long because teams usually have ebb and flow years, but B, that they're in the position that they're in, and then going staring down the barrel at 0-4, possibly against Macon County.
Yep, big rivalry game on tap for the Yellow Jackets this week at home. East Robertson gets Cheatham County at home in week number 4. On to some games that had to finish yesterday. Independence got a fourth quarter touchdown from Trey Hartwell, a long one at that, to knock off Centennial 17-14. The Cougars with an upset bid led this game 14-10 when it was suspended at halftime on Friday due to lightning. They resumed it at 1 o'clock and a quick pace second half too, but ended with the Eagles eking out a 3-point victory. No rest for them, though, because they've got Pope Prep coming in on Thursday. Centennial will travel to Antioch to try to get to 3-1. Another Saturday game that was suspended at halftime. Ravenwood led 10-6 at the half at Franklin, but they run away with a 31-6 victory in the conclusion of that suspended game. The Raptors get ready to host Oakland on Friday, as we mentioned. Franklin traveling to Stewart's Creek. Now on to some out-of-area games against some out-of-area teams. Brentwood Academy, 38-7 winners over Briarcrest Christian. Sequatchie County knocked off Cannon County 41-19. Answorth, a 44-10 winner over Christian Brothers. Grace Christian, 3-0. They're 21-14 winners over Collinwood. Lebanon rolled over Cookville in a game that ended pretty close to midnight, 41-14. NBA with probably the biggest win of the week, 23-20 winners at McCauley in a rematch of last year's state championship game in Division II AAA. And the Big Red now 3-0 as they get CPA on Thursday night. Moore County 21-0 over Eagleville. Fairview wins at Stewart County 40-7. Kenwood a 52-20 loss against Henry County. Montgomery Central falls 35-0 to Lawrence County. Creekwood drops a 17-14 decision to Marshall County in a close region game between those two teams. And Mount Juliet Christian suffers a 59-0 loss at Webb School. Nolensville 34-8 winners over Lincoln County. That one was low scoring for a while, but the Knights pulled away in the second half for that one. Gordonsville in the win column for Stephen Jackson's first win as head coach, 41-7 over Oliver Springs. Page in a game that wrapped up yesterday, 35-13 at Spring Hill. Waverly over Sycamore, 50-28. Liberty Creek's first ever game at their campus did not go like they hoped. Wayne Hills, New Jersey wins 34-19 in that one. Station Camp gave up 6 touchdowns to Malachi Dowell for White County as the Warriors roll over the Bisons 54-27. And White House Heritage, an out-of-state game at Franklin Simpson out of Kentucky. Patriots fall in that one 41-7. Couple of notes here. The game that has to be finished today, Brentwood and Summit, it's 21-0 Brentwood at halftime when this game was suspended. They'll pick it up at 4 p.m. at Summit, hoping to finish that one off without any other weather issues this afternoon. Brentwood 1-1 currently. They'll get Henry County next week. Summit travels to Blackman are currently 1-1 prior to this game's finish. One game that did not get played, unfortunately, no contest between Hillsborough and Smyrna. They tried to wait it out, but the weather was just too bad for them to play, and they decided to cancel it altogether. It will not be made up. So that is it for the scores in week number 3. A lot of intriguing scores, but a lot of things that we kind of expected would happen as well, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were to ask me, if there was a surprising score, I don't know that there really was anything that jumped out other than the NBA score. And, we kind of both had a feeling seeing this NBA team this year that they had a really good shot at knocking McCallie off and getting a little bit of revenge. And lo and behold, they did. Definitely a great performance there.
Yeah, really, really impressed with the way NBA started this season. They have made no bones about it. They're out for blood, revenge, whatever you want to call it. They're coming after a gold ball this year, and they just made a statement to McCallie that they believe they're the favorites in Division II AAA, and right now, who can argue with them?
Yeah, not very many people. It's they are as solid as they've been in years, and they're out to prove something. Same thing with you look at Lipscomb Academy. They played 3 quarters and wound up with 398 yards of total offense. It's amazing to me how good some of these teams are comparatively to teams that are programs in other states that have historically been better.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at these Division II classes, and I know it's early in the year to be thinking about this, but that Thursday, the Blue Cross Bowl could have a heavy mid-state flavor yet again.
Yep. And all things considered, absolutely.
Yeah, and there are a lot of teams with their eyes already in Chattanooga, and for good reason. We're talking about Oakland and Ravenwood. Lebanon has to factor into 6A as well. I mean, that's one team that people have to go through. And then Springfield in 5A making a statement. Page is number 1 ranked right now, but people better be keeping their eyes on the Yellow Jackets.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. They are running through people. And you mentioned Lebanon. We know that their offense is potent, but against Cookeville, they had 7 sacks, I think, 12 tackles for loss. One player, Jack Kleinert, had 6 sacks in that contest.
Yep.
I mean, it's just that team could give some heartburn to some Rutherford County teams.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. Well, that's all the damage we can do with the scoreboard this week. If you're around the Summit area, might as well go out and check out the finish of that one. Get a little bit more football on this Sunday afternoon. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit better weather luck in week 4. But with the holiday weekend, hope you all enjoy the Labor Day extended holiday. And for Scott Burton, I'm Chris Brooks. Thanks for joining us on the 615 Prep Scoreboard. We will talk to you this week on the Mid-State 48 to get you ready for week number 4. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you soon. So long, everybody.
Get well soon, Michaela.